Hey everyone, my name is Lizzie. Thanks for viewing one of the very first videos that I'm uploading on YouTube with the intention of connecting with others. I thought it was about time that I use YouTube as the amazing platform that it is to express my thoughts, share my experiences, and hopefully connect with people all over. So for this video today, I'm going to be sharing my experiences about receiving signs from the universe and also share a couple from my friends as well, which are pretty freaking cool. And typically these signs come in as synchronicities, and if you aren't familiar with that kind of stuff, I would describe a synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence or a series of meaningful coincidences. For example, it could be that every time you look at the clock, it's 11:11, whether that be on your phone, on the TV, when you pause a song you're listening to and the time mark is at 11:11, even though that's a really long song. But yeah, hopefully you get the gist of that. Whether or not you believe in this kind of stuff, I think it's just great to have an open mind, and if it makes you feel good, why not? Alrighty, so let's dive into my first story. This is one of my own experiences. I was driving home from work one day, and this is when I was at, I would say, a lower point in my life, or getting out of a lower point in my life. I was doing okay, but I saw a Florida license plate parked outside of my apartment, and I was like, it's a cool license plate. I wonder who from Florida is out here. But I noticed the orange in particular on the license plate, and I kind of just forgot about it and decided to chill that evening. Then I just had this impulse to go to the grocery store because I want some snacks. And I head over to the grocery store, and the first lady that walks out of the grocery store is holding a big orange in her hand like this as she's walking past me. And of course I noticed it because one, she was holding it like this, and it was huge. And I was like, that's when I first kind of made the connection of I just saw a Florida license plate that had an orange on it, and this lady's walking by me with an orange in her hand. And then again, kind of didn't really think much about it until the next day when I was at work. I was taking a walk, and usually I take the elevator back up to my floor because I get, a little lazy. But this time I was like, you know what? I want to take the stairs. So I go around, and I have to pass by this kind of common area where people eat, and there's white tables all over. And as I look up from my phone, I see one orange out of all the tables. There's just one orange on the table, and immediately I just got chills, but good chills, because holy crap, that's when I was like, whoa, I'm seeing oranges everywhere. And I think I have a picture because I was so shook, and I can put it right here. However, here we go. And yeah, that's when I decided to look up what the meaning of seeing oranges is everywhere. It's linked to abundance and just good things coming into your life, good things coming to fruition. And that made me feel really good, because at that time I was ready for change. I was ready for just more positive momentum happening in my life. Anyway, so after some more orange spottings, that following weekend I had a friend's birthday celebration that I attended, and when I was coming home, I took an Uber or Lyft home, and I fell asleep on the way back because I was exhausted, and it was a long night of celebrating, but I had my friend with me. I ended up leaving my phone in the Uber, and I didn't realize until the next morning that I didn't have my phone. So I look up, find my iPhone on iCloud, whatever, and the location is in Glendale. And I'm asking my friend, I wonder why it's in Glendale. And she's like, oh, that's where our Uber driver said she was from. So my friend obviously was chatting with the Uber driver. And I was like, okay, well, we can't get a hold of her right now, just because I needed to verify on the Uber app like with my phone and I wasn't able to. Anywho, so I just had the idea of driving out to follow that blue dot where it says where your phone is. So we drove out to Glendale and we were knocking on doors trying to figure out where this blue dot was. And nobody opened their door. It's like 9 a.m. We probably looked a little crazy. So I ended up going back out there a couple hours later because I just was like fired up to get my phone, and I really didn't want to have to go pay for one and buy a new one, especially if my phone was still on. It just didn't seem like it had been stolen. So I was on a mission and I went back out to Glendale with two of my other friends later that evening, and we're knocking on doors again. This time people are opening their doors and we end up having some great conversations with people in the neighborhood, and they're like, good luck, like we hope you find your phone. And as I'm walking back to re-knock on some doors that hadn't opened up, this lady comes out and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like is my dog bothering you? And her dog just like ran outside, was running around outside. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's my Uber driver. So I was like, hey, do you work for Uber? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I think I have my phone in your car. And she's like, oh, I was wondering when you were gonna reach out. And I was like, well, I couldn't, but so she walks over to her car and opens it up. As she's opening up her car, I noticed that there's this big fluffy orange thing on her dashboard. And I just was like, holy crap, what are the chances? And I'm freaking out to my friend because I just told her about this story about me seeing oranges everywhere, and she's like, holy crap, what? This lady was probably just like, oh, they're just really, really happy that she got her phone back, which I was, but it was also the series of events with the oranges that had led up to that. Anywho. But yeah, it was kind of validation that I was on the right path, and no matter what, the universe has got my back. And it felt really, really good. And after that, I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna keep seeing oranges. Like, I wonder if that was it. And then I did keep seeing them for another week. And at the end of the second week of seeing oranges all the time, I get the news that I had received a promotion, and it was such a wonderful feeling. It's something that I felt that I had deserved for a very long time. And yeah, it was just awesome. And after that, I didn't continue to see oranges, but this was definitely, for me, was a sign from the universe that I was on the right path, and just to continue to stay optimistic and positive, and great things were coming, and they were. And it was also just like, whatever you set your mind to, you can do. Like find my phone. Okay, so now to share a few of my friends' examples. One of my friend's dogs passed away. His name is Jackson, and she had a pretty hard time with this, of course, because it was her family dog. It was a dog that she grew up with. And literally, the day after he passed away, she started noticing his name come up everywhere. And every time that it did, it would give her a sense of comfort, because it felt like Jackson was looking over her and letting her know that he's okay. Kind of like an angel dog. And I'm actually going to read a few of the texts that she sent me when she noticed these synchronicities. Lizzie, yesterday I was on a run and I stopped by a park by my house. There were these kids with a dog there, so I walked up to them and asked them what their dog's name was. His name was Jackson. Today I went with Evan, who is her boyfriend, to go drop his dog off at its new home, and we drove by this house that had a truck outside of it, and it said Jackson's Heating and AC. And another example is, after we had brunch once, she texted in the group message with our friends, and it was a picture of this license plate that she was behind that happened to spell out Jackson. I'll actually attach the picture right over here so you guys can see what she saw as well. this was pretty awesome to hear from her. She's one of my closest friends, and just knowing that she felt better from seeing his name after he passed. And my last example is I was sitting with my friend in her car after a hike, and she was wondering, we were talking about whether she was ready to move to Australia to be with her boyfriend. And as I'm telling her to take the risk and stuff, my Spotify had connected to, my phone had connected the Spotify to my car's Bluetooth, and it's on shuffle. And as I turned to look at what song is playing, it's literally titled Make Your Move. And I was like, girl, look at the song that's playing right now. And because I was so shook, I took a picture of it. So I'm gonna share that right here. It says Make Your Move. I know it's a little blurry, but there it is. And yeah, this was just, she was like, holy moly. It's not just a coincidence, like we were literally just talking about it, or it was a meaningful coincidence, but to us it was a sign, and it felt awesome. Alright, so that wraps up my examples for this video. If you watched till the end, thank you, because I do love talking about this kind of stuff. If you have any similar experiences or ones that you would love to share on your own, I would love to hear them in the comments. Yeah, share them below, or just let me know what you think about signs in general. And thank you for tuning in again. If you enjoyed this, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and I'll be sure to keep popping out some videos for you. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.